Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. I'm Mary Felling, physical therapist, and today I'm going to show you a myofascial release for the bicep. So it's all along the front here. We get very tight through our years of living just because we're usually forward. We're a flexion society here. This can get very tight and it influences shoulder pain. It influences upper arm pain, and it can influence neck pain. So it's kind of overlooked, and I want to make sure you guys are taking care of this part to really make your whole shoulder and neck area feel good. All right, so all you'll need today is a wall. If you have to go and get into that position, pause the video now and then come back. For the rest of you, we're going to start. So you're going to take, I'm going to be working on my left bicep, doing a fascial restriction or fascial release for that. And you go up to a wall and you put your palm against the wall. And in this position, I am so tight, I already feel the pull all the way through my bicep, through the myofascial components. But for some of you, you might not feel much. So you just walk in a little bit more, make sure you've got your palm against the wall, and then you very gently turn away from the wall. And as you turn away, you're going to get a really good stretch in the bicep. You're going to experiment a little because sometimes a lower position of your hand on the wall is what you'll need to feel that pull. So go to your wall, palm against it, just face forward, and then experiment with the different levels until you feel like, yes, that is super tight. And for me, this is where I feel it, and I have to move away from the wall a little bit just because I'm so tight and so tender already. So that's one position. Now, I was talking about a modification. For those of you who find that you feel the stretch lower instead of up here, you can also assist if you're feeling weak with the chair, and it looks like this. So you're going to bring your chair behind you, and you want to put the back of the chair next to your back. And so as you reach out and get in your position, the chair will be able to hold the weight of your hand up. And if you need your hand a little higher, you just kind of walk away from the chair and it'll support further down near your wrist or your hand. So if you got a really low position, stand closer to the chair. If you have to have a higher position, pull away from the chair. Does that make sense? And the chair will just help you bring the weight of your arm out of the equation, so all you're doing is elongating. All right, so if you need a chair, pause video, go grab that, come back, make sure it has a nice high back on it, and it's a sturdy chair, nothing with wheels. And we're going to get started. So for me, I feel the most pull through my bicep and up to the shoulder here. I can't even go in because it's so painful for me. It's such a strong stretch, and it's such a stretch that causes pain. I know I wouldn't be able to stay there for 5 minutes. So I'm going to step away a little bit. And then at the end range, if you want, you can turn a little bit out. And as you turn out, you'll feel even more. If that's too much, then you're just going to stand with your face straight ahead. This is such a tight position for me. I'm going to have to change the angle of the camera, but I wanted you to see from the side how this is all set up. Okay, so if you're set up, you've got your wall, put your arm behind you in that position. You might find you have to go high or lower. And I found even after practicing and experimenting with the position, I could only hold that higher level for 30 seconds. So I'm coming down here and starting, and I do feel a good stretch. So we've got the clock going. And we're going to be here 5 minutes. So on the John Barnes Myofascial Release techniques, all of them require a 5-minute input of mechanical energy into the body. And mechanical energy can be stretching or elongation. It can be compression or twisting. And in this case, we're doing elongation. So I've got my palm, as much of my palm on the wall as I can. If I try to press it all the way through, I really get so much of a pull through my bicep, I don't think I could stand it for 5 minutes. So in this position, I'm giving a chance for the mechanical energy to build up. So at about 3 to 5 minutes, and by the way, I'm elongating my arm just with ounces. It's like I'm taking my fingertips and just elongating that way, just ounces. So I'm going to do this for 5 minutes because between 3 and 5 minutes, we start what's called a piezoelectric effect. And the piezoelectric effect is this bioelectric flow that moves through fascia. Well, when the fascia, when that bioelectric flow, the piezoelectric effect, reaches an area where the fascia has been bound down, it's tightened and dehydrated, it causes it to rehydrate, soften, and lengthen. So a myofascial restriction, the area where the fascia has become bound down and restricted, is a result of injury to that area. An injury can be overuse, repetitive use. It can be stress, just being a human being alive on this planet. It can be from a trauma, something locally that happened, a fall or a hit or against that area of your body. And the response of the fascia is to that injury or overuse or poor posture over a long period of time. Maybe you're hunched over things and your arms are always bent forward. And so the fascia through the front of the arm and in the bicep and the forearm will adapt to a shortened position instead of its nice, long, lengthy, elastic position. So when that myofascial restriction has the bioelectric flow move through it, it softens, elongates, rehydrates, and so you have less pain because our muscles are pain-sensitive structures, and if we put a lot of pressure on them, like most of our body, which is pain-sensitive, it becomes painful and we lose movement. We lose the elasticity in that area. All right. When I talk about length of time for the electrical flow to start, I say 3 to 5 minutes. And so the minimum we do a fascial release is 5 minutes. I encourage you to stay there 6, 7, 8 minutes because you can get more and more releases of the fascia during that time. And a release feels like, oh, I have a little less pain there, or I feel some warmth in the area. It might feel like elongating. You might feel like taffy pulling or butter melting, something like that through your arm. You might feel something somewhere else. You might feel, while I'm here, I can feel that pull in my TMJ, or maybe it's going up into your temple next to your ears. And as this release, you might feel like, oh, that symptom, that sensation through the side of my face and up around my ear, that's going away. That's a sign that the fascia here is starting to open and release. The fascia is all one piece of material, just like my grandmother would knit scarves for me from one skein of yarn. So that whole scarf was connected because it was just that single piece of material. That's the way fascia is presented in our body. It is a single strand of material that's woven through our body, top to bottom, side to side, and back to front. It's a 3-dimensional cobweb. And yes, that cobweb is around and surrounding and supporting everything. So your eyeballs, your organs, muscles, ligaments, the lymph system, your tendons, nerve, blood vessels, everything has the sinewy cobweb through it and around it. And so when it tightens down, it can produce pain anywhere in our system. But traditionally, the fascial system hasn't been addressed as one of the pain-causing problems when we have pain or dysfunction or tension. But in the last 20 years, 25 years, it's gotten so much more attention. There's so much more input from research, so much more input from our studies that show how fascia really needs to be treated to relieve pain. All right, so we're past that 5-minute mark, so very slowly, you just let your arm come down. You certainly can stay there longer. You won't hurt yourself. Like I said, you'll just get more and more releases, which is great. Go and do your other arm. I did the side that is not my dominant side. I'm really more right-handed, but this was so tight, I knew I had to work on it. I will certainly still go and work on my right side too. All right, I invite you all to subscribe to my YouTube. And on this channel, I'm always putting up new videos, and those who are subscribed to the channel will receive these new videos as soon as they come out, so you can keep going with taking care of yourself, self-treating, and enjoying life because you now have a pain-free body. All right, thanks for joining me, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.